Good afternoon, everyone. So today is August 2nd, 2024. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is that today is actually the 5-year anniversary to when my nightmare of family court and false allegations and dealing with a narcissist really started. And it was the last time that I actually had custody of my children. So on August 2nd of 2019, I had a doctor's appointment, and I was trying to get a hold of my ex-wife to find out when her and her boyfriend were going to come and pick up my children at the time, so that I can go to my doctor's appointment. And I was scheduled to have them back on August 6th. Now, prior to this, I had pretty much had full custody of the kids, because back in February of 2019, my ex-wife had another surgery, multiple surgeries. She's a hypochondriac, and she doesn't listen to doctors. She thinks that she is above that. So anyway, she had multiple surgeries, and in February of 2019, she went in for a back surgery and was pretty much held up for months. So I had pretty much full custody of my kids. I rented in a 2-bedroom apartment for us at that time. And, up until August, everything was all right. Now, in July of 2019, I had broken up with my ex-girlfriend, whom my ex-wife hated, and she was thrilled with that. So, she tried to be my best friend throughout that time, calling me steadily. To me, she was trying to really butter me up so that in the hopes that we might get back together. So if her boyfriend happens to watch this, that's exactly what happened, bud. And you're still with her 5 years later. You've gone along with all the lies. You even lied yourself. But on August 2nd, like I said, I had a doctor's appointment, so I was trying to get a hold of her to find out when she was going to come and pick up the kids. So I'm going to read you the text messages from that day, because I kept everything. I have experience in law. I had studied paralegal studies back in 2011 and 2012. Went to school for paralegal studies. I graduated with distinction. Was very good at what I did. So I kept everything. I still have everything. So at 2:09 p.m. on August 2nd of 2019, I had asked her when her friend was going to be picking up the children that day. So at 2:10 p.m. she responded with, "I will have her text when she is there." It was just shortly after that she came and picked them up. She picked them up in the front of my apartment building that day. And then I went off to my doctor's appointment. I believe my doctor's appointment that day was around 4 p.m. So at 7:06 p.m. that day, she responded. Sorry, she didn't respond. She sent me a text. She says, "Hey, I just phoned you. Do you happen to have 30 minutes of time to talk? I need to talk to you in person, and it's kind of urgent. The kids are off for a super fun night with auntie, swimming, etc. Today would be best, please, and thanks." This is at 7:06 p.m. Again, at 7:06 p.m., as I stated, it is indeed urgent. At 7:07 p.m., and when I mean urgent, it's no joke. 7:08 p.m., I can come to you, but it has to be in person ASAP. 7:09 p.m., please don't blow me off here. This isn't a joking matter. It needs to be just you and I, and it's a serious matter. 7:11 p.m. Please kindly answer me, Rich. 7:18 p.m. I just left you another voicemail. As far as this matter goes, as parents thus far, it is pretty much emergency talk. The kids are fine and safe, but the matter I have to discuss with you is by far emergency, please. I don't care if it's 1 a.m., 9 p.m., or 3 a.m. I have to talk to you today. At 7:58 p.m., I responded. We are in Caledonia. If the kids are fine, then I don't see what the emergency could be. So at 8 p.m., she responded with, I need to talk to you face to face and show you something. If you don't want to take me serious here and trust that this is a matter that I must discuss with you in person, so be it, but it is serious. Again at 8 p.m. This is why I need to speak with you in person, as it is something you need to see. At 8:02 p.m. Ball's in your court here. Don't want to comply as it's a matter about one of our children. That's serious. That's up to you. But I'm respectfully asking as the other parent that it is important you listen to me here and take this serious. At 8:04 p.m. As per our children's doctor and ours, I need to speak with you. So at 8:04 p.m. I responded, how about you just stop playing games and tell me what it is then? At 8:05 p.m., she capitalized this. Rich, I cannot text this. I must see you in person. So put your feelings aside here about being pissed at me and trust me. At 8:06 p.m., I have to show you something in person, the end. Again at 8:06 p.m. I had just been at our doctor's a good portion of the afternoon. He wants me to speak with you in person. Trust me here or don't. At 8:08 p.m. At 8:10 p.m. I'm not playing games here. It's necessary and important, and it is a matter that our family doctor even thinks is urgent enough for us to speak face to face today about. I'm not fucking playing. At 8:12 p.m. I responded with, I am with Christine in Caledonia, like I had already stated. You said that the kids are fine, so I don't know why the doctor, who I was just there as well today, wants me to talk to you. At 8:12 p.m., if you could please take me serious here, know that it's something so important it can't wait. I have to see you to show you. Even our doctor agrees here, Rich, so please just trust my judgment call and respect for you here. Again at 8:12 p.m. Wow, okay, I'm not going to beg you to care here, not to worry, I'm on top of it. Thank you for your consideration and respect here. You've once again shown that your girlfriend takes priority over your children and their needs. Have a great evening. How about this? Make another appointment to see the doctor, shaking my fucking head. He can tell you, and he can tell you that I'm fixing it as well. When our family doctor tells me that I need to sit with you face to face, all issues aside, for the benefit of our daughter, and you want to blow me off. Super mature as a parent, Rich. I will fix this like I fix everything else, on my own. I'm absolutely ashamed that I have to try and co-parent with you. I am. Don't worry, I, and puts it in the capitals, will promptly make this situation, as I was to speak with you, better. I'm done with your games and your attitude towards our children. Your choice again to choose her over them is the wrong choice. But you already know that. Thank you for your time. Lawyer up. At 8:26 p.m. At 8:31 p.m. I responded, considering you won't tell me what it is I'm supposed to have a face-to-face with you, then who is the one that's playing the games? And don't ever say that I have an attitude against our children. I'm not the one that's filling their head full of shit. And don't threaten me with lawyers. At 8:55 p.m. I responded again. I'll be picking the kids up on Tuesday morning as per usual. Cut the shit. And then on August 6th of 2019, I sent her a text that says, hey, what time will the kids be ready today? And that was at 12:07 p.m. At 1:15 p.m. on August 6th of 2019, she responded with, please come to family court on Main and McNabb. At 1:19 p.m., I responded with shaking my head, when? At 1:37 p.m., I sent her a text asking her if I was getting the kids today or not. At 2:39 p.m., she responded no. At 2:44 p.m., I responded back, which was my last text to her and the last conversation we had actually had, which is nice. You be that deadbeat then that uses their kids as pawns because you have a grudge against my girlfriend. I guess I'll wait to be served with whatever you're up to. And that concludes the text messages on August 2nd and then going into August 6th. So on August 2nd, before my kids were picked up, I let my daughter know that we were going to be moving. Now, I was applying for housing through Hamilton Housing. The application is actually right here. I have a copy of it that I have kept. As you can see, I signed it and dated it August 2nd of 2019. So one of the very last things that I said to my daughter was that we were moving, probably within the next couple of months. I was being fast-tracked on a housing list because I was a single father with 2 kids and I couldn't afford the current rent that I was paying. So I pretty much figured that on August 2nd, the reason why I was getting all of these text messages was because my daughter went home and told my ex-wife that we were moving. And my ex-wife went into panic mode thinking that I was going to be moving in with my ex-girlfriend and her daughter. So this is why I was getting these text messages. Now, also, a few weeks before this, my mother and I had a conversation about a conversation that my mother and my ex-wife had that was very concerning to me. My ex-wife was trying to lay allegations against my ex-girlfriend at that time that she had assaulted my son. At some point, I believe it was in June, when my ex-girlfriend went to pick them up at school while I was working. I worked hours that most people will never work. I worked, sometimes 16-hour days. I was in the sign business. I was a manager of the sign shop, so I had lots of responsibilities at that time, and we didn't have a tremendous amount of staff. So I worked a lot of hours. So my ex-girlfriend went to pick up my kids one day, and my ex-wife had tried to state that my ex-girlfriend had grabbed my son by the arm, threw him in her car, and scolded him for a situation that happened where he made my daughter cry. It was completely false. My mother actually put her in her place and said that's not what happened. My mother was actually there at that time, and that put an end to it. So, I actually figured that that's what she was trying to tell me, was that type of bullshit. Again, and you can tell from my messaging back to her, I didn't want to play games with her. And that's, from the last 5 years now of having to fucking deal with all of this stuff, people can probably see why I reacted the way that I did on August 2nd. Because these games they had not stopped for 2.5 years. Now, I had left my ex-wife in March of 2017. Now we're in 2019 and all this shit was coming up. So like I said, I told my daughter on August 2nd that we were moving. I knew right away that my ex-wife probably figured I was moving in with my ex-girlfriend and her daughter, and that was false. If you look on, I'm not going to show it, but on the documents that I have, I was asking for a 3-bedroom apartment. Each of my kids would have their own bedroom and I'd have a bedroom. So there had been no room for anybody else to be living there. And that was not the plan whatsoever. But my ex-wife didn't believe that. She could believe whatever she wants to believe, and she still probably doesn't believe that to this day, and I don't really give a shit. Because like I said, I didn't want to play games, and I already knew the type of person that she is. She has not changed in the now almost 15 years that I have known her, and we used to go to high school together prior to that as well. So she has not changed one bit. She's a narcissist to the core. She's a very good actor. She likes to pretend that, you know, she is a good person. Behind the scenes, she's a terrible person. So, you know, that's what happened on August 2nd of 2019. So we're 5 years now later, and, you know, I'm still in this position. As most people have been following me for the past 5 years, and I'm going to be posting this on YouTube. I'm homeless right now because of my ex-wife. I had tried to come back here last year after a breakup with another ex-girlfriend who was cheating on me. So I moved back to Hamilton after being away for 2-3 years because of threats due to all this bullshit threatening my life. So I had moved away, and you know, I was still going through a lot of the court stuff, which on December 18th of 2020, I was exonerated. And that exoneration actually is right here. This is actually all the charges, and I'm going to get into that in a second. So on August 6th, like I had read about, you know, meeting her at family court and everything, the games that she was playing were that she was going to make sure that I wasn't getting the kids, and it was going to be a lengthy battle, and we're still going through it 5 years later. So on August 6th, it was brought into court under perjury that I was apparently charged with a sexual assault, which I was not. My ex-wife was claiming that I had sexually assaulted her twice throughout our marriage. I had assaulted her 3 times throughout our marriage. I had assaulted our pets, and I sexually assaulted one of her friends. All of which was untrue. And again, on December 18th of 2020, I was exonerated of all those charges. Now, I just want to point out that my ex-wife has never had any evidence to support any of this. Any evidence that was ever provided in court was on my end. There could never be any evidence to prove any of these allegations ever existed, because they didn't exist. It never happened. So what I had to do was provide character evidence to show what my character was, to show the type of person that I was back then. And obviously the Crown agreed with me. Now, being a man in that situation, I'm going to tell you right now, it was not fucking easy. I had a legal aid lawyer that was garbage. I didn't want to get a lawyer at first, because then I was criminally charged on August 22nd of 2019. But like I had stated a few minutes ago, on August 6th, she had claimed that I was already charged, it was false. It was a lie. I was not charged. These were actually the first time that these allegations had ever been brought up, and she brought them up in family court. The reason why she did that was to get an ex parte motion so that I didn't even have to be there. Now, like I had stated, I did ask her when I was supposed to be in court that day, and she never responded. Now, she lied to the judge that day as well and stated that she had informed me of that, and I told her that I was not going. Obviously, I read you the text messages. I can provide proof of these, but I don't need to. I read you them word for word. I never stated that. I asked her what time. I was never given that time. So, again, I read you what I had said. I knew that something was going to happen. I never, ever in a million years would have ever thought that I would be accused of what she accused me of, because it never happened. And I was not that type of person. I was sexually assaulted myself as a child from a family member. I came out in 2007 about that, over 20 years after it happened. I came out to my family at that time. Now, my family decided at that time they were going to sweep that shit under the rug, and they didn't want to support me. So I actually moved to Hamilton because I met my ex-wife at that time. My ex-wife was my biggest supporter, and she remained my biggest supporter right up until 2019, when she accused me of exactly what happened to me as a kid. So she basically threw that shit in my face, and I can never forgive her, ever, for that. I will never forgive her. It doesn't matter what people try to tell me. I cannot forgive her for that. She's a vile, disgusting, evil person for doing that. And she's a vile, evil, disgusting person for what she did to our kids. Now, a lot of people are going to know from one of my past videos, which was the Silver Bullet Stories, Chapter 1, entitled The Journal. I have not completed this series. I guess you can say this is a continuation of that. What my ex-wife eventually did was, along with the charges that I was charged with, she also accused me of sexually assaulting our daughter. Now again, she had no proof of this. My daughter never even said anything to that extent. This was all made up on my ex-wife's part, and that was proven later on. But nothing happened to her. There was no accountability held. I'm going to be 45 on August 14th of this year. So this all happened just before my 40th birthday. And on August 13th, that's when I actually went to the police station to talk about the allegation of sexual assault towards my towards my daughter, that my ex-wife was trying to claim. Now, my ex-wife fabricated evidence of a supposed journal that she supposedly stated that that's what she wanted to talk to me about. That's what I needed to see that day, was this journal that apparently my daughter had made. And again, I provided the evidence in a past YouTube video. You can check that out on my channel. Again, it's the Silver Bullet Stories, Chapter 1, entitled The Journal. And all the evidence is there to support what I'm telling everybody right now. Again, that is the most disgusting thing that I have ever fucking encountered in my life, to be accused of something like that when it didn't happen. I was a very good father. A lot of people out there know that. I would do anything for my kids, and I did everything for my kids. You know, to be accused of that, it crushed me. It still fucking crushes me today. Because, you know, I know the type of stuff that happens, because now I'm 5 years in. I'm an advocate for it. Many people know. I've held rallies. I have helped many parents out there with this type of situation, with false allegations, with parental alienation. I've been a voice in Canada for that. I'm going to say that I'm one of the leading voices in it, because I actually have balls I say and do what I say I'm going to do. Whereas a lot of other people out there, they don't. And, you know, we live in a society right now where you're judged. And I'm probably going to get judged on this video, and I don't care. Because it is all the truth. I can back up what I say. I have overwhelming evidence, mountains of evidence to support what I say. But again, family court is a completely different story. And most people that have encountered family court, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know I'm telling the truth on this. Family court is about who can lie the best. And unfortunately, well, my ex-wife lied the best, whereas I only told the truth. And sometimes the truth makes you look bad. In my case, it did, because, you know, I don't have a lot of support. I have a very dysfunctional family, and I was straight up with that. My ex-wife, of course, uses that against me. So, you know, again, 5 years later, you know, being accused of everything under the sun, I'm still getting accused fucking of shit today. You know, I posted a video about a month ago about, you know, being accused of stalking. Meanwhile, I had provided proof that they're stalking me. You know, her ex, or my ex and her boyfriend, I see them because I'm in the same area. I'm homeless right now, and I came back to an area where I feel safe, I am comfortable, because where I am, I used to get beat up as a child from my father. I was an abused child as well. My father was an abusive fucking piece of shit. So I used to come down to the creek. So that's where I am right now, and I've been here for 9 months. You know, I'm going to get emotional because I'm safe here. You know, I don't worry about the animals or any of that stuff. I don't worry about anything.